Splash, you want to go first or me?
You can go first.
Okay, real
Okay.
quick, I'm just gonna. Real quick before
Wait,
you guys
shut up.
start, I'm going. I've just started recording.
Okay. Good. Okay. Also, by the way, for all y'all people who just joined, I don't mean no offense, but I don't know you guys, so you're probably going to get kicked afterwards. Debate. Just saying. No hard feelings. Sorry.
And it's probably going to be by me.
Okay. Anyways, but enough fucking stalling. We've did this shit for too long. Okay, let's start this shit. Okay, so a brief overview of who Arceus is. In Pokemon lore, Arceus is the creator god of the entire Pokemon multiverse. He's the creator of all things. There was nothing before him, and there was nothing after. Basically, he just created everything. And also, he's basically the source of the creation trio, Palkia, Dialga, Giratina, who are time, space, and antimatter respectively. And also the Late Guardians, who are willpower, emotion, and knowledge. He was the source of all types and everything. So basically, he created everything and is essentially Pokemon's representation of a creator god. So that's basically Arceus. Now it's just time to go over some of his stuff. Okay. So so starting off with his attack potency. Now, in terms of attack potency, Arceus should be it varies. Arceus at the very minimum should be multiversal plus, as he created the Pokemon multiverse, which which if you look in the feats and power scaling section, I made a post explaining why the Pokemon multiverse is infinite. Actually, I made two, but this is the most better one. But regardless, yeah, the Pokemon multiverse is infinite, has an infinite chain of universes, and also stuff like that. So he basically created that, and also he created the fundamental concepts. He created the concept of time embodied in Dialga, the space embodied in Palkia, and antimatter embodied in Giratina. Yeah. And also, not only did he create them and also the multiverse, but he's also superior to him. In one of his fights in Jewel of Life, he was shown to be able to casually overpower the creation trio. And it's shown to the point where he doesn't even have to try; he just casually bodies them. And like I said before, all the scans and stuff for that is in these two threads. In case you're wondering why I'm not posting scans, because like I said, it's a lot of shit. So I apologize for that if I'm seeming lazy here. But yeah, he basically bodies the creation trio with ease and casually too. So this proves that he's at least above baseline 2A. Okay. I'm trying to think of what other feats does he consist of that scale to the entire cosmology. And also there's the fact that and also I should also mention that him being above the Christian trio is impressive because not only are they a representation of multiversal concepts, time, space, antimatter, but they're also have the ability to govern over concepts. It's stated in the Pokédex entry that Dialga's mere heartbeat is what stabilizes and governs time. So yeah, he has 2A abilities and 2A range as well. Palkia, he's basically explicitly stated to be the creator of dimensions, and also this is the scan I didn't have in the respect bread, so I'm gonna post it. But he's basically said to bind all spatial dimensions. Now let me get that real quick, cause I posted it in this server, so I'm gonna just grab it real quick. Hold on a second, real quick. Palkia. I'm gonna post it in feats and power scaling. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Grabbing it real quick. Okay. Okay, here we go. And it's in feats and power scaling section. But yeah, here it says Palkia binds all spatial dimensions. So this proves that his range does exceed to at least the multiverse. I can argue way higher, but yeah. So as far as 2A goes, that's pretty much why he's 2A at least. And okay. So next we're going to move into his hexes, of which surprisingly Arceus has a lot of. Now, okay. So to start off, Arceus has conceptual manipulation. He basically established the concepts of space, time, and antimatter, knowledge, willpower, and emotion. Also, note that a lot of this that I'm mentioning is in the first post that I posted in Feats and Power Scaling. So yeah, that's where most of this comes from. But yeah, he established the concepts and laws of the multiverse, concepts being specifically space, time, antimatter, knowledge, willpower, and emotion. So he has those abilities on a conceptual level. He also created every type and also has every type due to the plates. So this means he can use basically any type of move that falls within Pokemon. In addition to having earth manipulation due to the earth plate, fire manipulation, flame plate, ice manipulation, the icicle plate, plant manipulation, meadow plate, telepathy, and other mind-based abilities, mind plate, magic through pixie plate, water through splash plate, poison through toxic plate, electricity through zap plate. So okay. He can warp reality and create entire spaces, so he has reality warping on a multiversal scale and creation, as he can create entire dimensions, says from nothing. He can erase things from existence, such as debris, and okay. Yeah, that's as far as that goes. Energy manipulation, literally a lot of his attacks, okay. A lot of his attacks involve energy. His main ability, Judgment, is pretty much Damaku, which is the type of ability where a user spreads energy in like mass bits. If you play Toho, you probably already know how functions. But yeah, he has Damaku and energy manipulation, and also it also can extend to 2 dimensions, like and basically affect them. Also posted in the respect thread. Has time manipulation, created the concept of time, and also has shown to stop time as well. Spell manipulation, created Palkia, the concept of space, and also can break Palkia Spado Bear. Has life manipulation, created the Jewel of Life, and also gave sentience and life to concepts and also other various ideas. He can create barriers. He can also create these barriers, which even Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina can't break through. So basically, it's a multiversal plus barrier. Dimensional BFR in Pokemon Rangers, he basically sends the Christian Trio to another dimension, and also he can seal Giratina within the distortion world, which is where the whole myth comes from. So he can send you to either an alternate dimension or the distortion world, basically. Has the ability to create things from nothing. Also basically establishing the myth he created in everything from nothing. And also, here's where I get into that. Speaking of nothingness, Arceus is the embodiment of chaos and turmoil. He basically is an abstract entity and embodies the chaos that came before. Here's the passage that states this. In the beginning, there was only a churning turmoil of chaos. At the heart of the chaos, where all things became one, appeared an egg. Having tumbled from the vortex, the egg gave rise to the original one. Basically, the original one is Arceus. It's a reference to Arceus. Basically, it's explained that Arceus is basically the embodiment of the chaos and nothing that came before creation. This is referring to the original one because basically Arceus is just an aspect of that one being. By the way, okay. He has various forms of immortality. He has immortality type 1 because he basically never ages. He's immortal. He has type 4 basically because he can be resurrected indefinitely by the original one. Reminder that that's not outside help because the original one and Arceus, they're the same being. Just Arceus is a physical aspect of that being. So, and also this also counts for type 9 because Arceus is just merely an aspect. So basically, if you kill off Arceus, you haven't really killed the entity itself because the original one is still existing. He also has Type A as he's relying on the plates. The plates are literally his life force and also, well, I should say like their life force, but it's literally tied to him. And also, he's relying on the concept of spirit, aka in Pokemon known as knowledge, emotion, and willpower, as that's what the original one embodies. Okay. Okay. He has the ability to he has his own pocket dimension, so he has pocket reality manipulation. He can freely manipulate this reality. Arceus also has he can completely negate and reflect attacks with the plates, also shown in the battle between Palkia, Dialga, Giratina versus Arceus, also shown in that. While he has to activate the plate, the reflection and negation itself is passive. But regardless, he can negate anything that falls under a Pokemon type. Basically, this negates normal type attacks, fire-based attacks, fighting-based attacks, anything physical, water-based attacks, flying-based attacks, grass-based attacks, poison-based attacks, electric attacks, ground attacks, mine attacks, rock attacks, ice attacks, bug-based attacks, dragon-based attacks, ghost-based attacks, or basically attacks that attack on a spiritual or non-corporeal level. Dark-based attacks, steel-based attacks, and magical attacks, also fairy. Arceus has telepathy, basically not only because he has the mind plate, but he uses it as a main basis of communication. Also, since the Lake Trio are also aspects of him, that basic and also the Crazy Trio and the Lake Orange are aspects of him. Basically, that means he gets that basically means that he should at least have some their basic abilities, which means he has information manipulation. Also, because he created Yuxi, and also Yuxi's a aspect of Arceus. Yuxi embodies knowledge. Azov, who embodies willpower and also is an aspect of Arceus. Emotion, who again comes from Mesprit being an aspect, and also embody an emotion. Mind manipulation, they can pacify the creation trio, so Arceus has this too as a result. And causality manipulation. Palkia and Dialga during their fight was distorting the causal laws, and also were basically destroying causality itself as well. Resistances. Basically, he has resistance to soul manipulation. He basically existed before the idea of souls. Before souls were an established thing in Pokemon, he basically predated all of that and then created the souls later. That's one of the reasons why they don't mention souls in the lore, because it just didn't exist. Arceus created souls and ghost type Pokemon in general. Absolute Zero based attacks and status effects. The icicle plates turns him into an ice type, making him immune to sheer cold. Basically, an entire Absolute Zero based attack, and is immune to paralysis, burns, freezing, binding, pounders, and also being seeded by Zap, Toxic, Flame, Icicle, Spooky, and Metal plates, respectively. Power nullification, and power mimicry. That's a result of the multi-type, as it can't be copied, switched, negated, or replaced. Any type that tries to copy this or negate it or anything that I mentioned, it won't work, basically. So Arceus has resistance to this. He can also resist things being changed. Basically, Arceus and Savali, who was built with the with an RKS system, are immune to soak, which changes the type of the user. So basically, what that means is, if you try to change something fundamental about them, like for example, let's say Arceus used fire, and you try to change it to where he uses water type. Well, you can't do that because he has resistance to that. He's resistant to sleep and dream manipulation. He can act while he's asleep, and also Dialga, and even Dialga could still use time belt abilities while he was asleep, and also could still move while he was asleep. So basically, putting him to sleep is useless, and also affecting his dreams is useless. He's casual. Basically, he's resistant to the distortion of causal laws. Not only that, but he exists on a different system of causality, basically as a result of being not just a fourth dimensional being, but also also as a result of perceiving causality different. Speed. Basically, Arceus is omnipresent. He's one with all of space and time. So basically, wherever there's space and time, Arceus is present in it, as his heart is one with it. And let's say if we dismiss this, Arceus still has immeasurable speeds as the creation trio exists beyond traditional space and time. Not only that, but they exist with Dialga exists within the dimension of time. Literally, the time is literally his own domain. So it's pretty clear that the creation trio or and in extension Arceus are higher dimensional beings. So even if we disregard that he's omnipresent, he still has immeasurable speeds. Durability, he can take multiversal plus attacks. In addition, he has stuff that makes him harder to kill due to attack negation, the plates and multi-type. Immortality, I mentioned that. Non-corporeality and abstract existence. Basically, he embodies the nothing and chaos that came before, and his true essence is basically non-corporeal and beyond, and it exists on a higher dimensional plane. Intelligence, Arceus is basically omniscient. He knows all. Literally, Yuxi, who embodies knowledge itself, basically Yuxi embodies knowledge and art, and that's merely an aspect of Arceus. So since literally an embodiment of knowledge is an aspect of Arceus, he logically should be omniscient as well. Literally, he knows everything. Knowledge is literally a concept that he created and is part of him. It's all, and this is further elaborated on many times where Arceus is aware of events that happens within the multiverse and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much Arceus. Sorry if this seemed like long. It's just that Arceus has a lot of shit that I have to go over. It's crazy. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much Arceus in a nutshell. Sorry if I bored you guys out a bit. Apologies. So yeah. Anyways, I'm done here. It's Splash's turn.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't.
All right.
The fuck off,
So as I'll demonstrate during the debate, Martian Manhunter just one shots with mind hacks. That's my intro.
Okay. I'm curious. See what you got for me.
Well, that
Right.
that
So
one by
as stated by you, I guess I'll just continue on. As stated by you, your character is bound within concepts. Martian Manhunter on multiple occasions has been able to disable and just completely destroy characters that were on an outer-versal level. If you don't know what that is, I'm sure you do, though. It's when you're not bound by the concepts of dimensions. I'll give you a few examples right here. Here he gets into the mind of a new god, which are Platonic concepts. If you need the Platonic scan, I'll get it for you right now. Are you familiar with Platonic concepts?
Yeah, I'm familiar with how that works and stuff. I already got a refute for that, but you can keep going.
Sure. Well, just to make sure you know, here is what Platonic concepts are. If you need the DC map, actually, I'll just get that for you too, so there won't be any confusion. Here's another instance of outer-versal. In this instance, he had to prevent the waking of Vishnu, who resides in the God sphere, because if Vishnu woke, he would bring an end to all of creation itself, which is, bare minimum hyperversal. But seeing as he is a Platonic concept and comes from a realm of archetypes, he would inherently be outerversal.
Yeah,
All right,
no.
There he is.
Here's this scan. This is the Vishnu event. Actually, I'll give you this first. So right here, Libra himself stated a pissed off Martian Manhunter, like bloodlusted, he would not want to fight. Are you familiar with who this Libra character was in this story?
Let me see real quick. Let me see. I have not read this issue yet, so no.
Okay,
That's
so
Final
Libra
Crisis Neo.
is the actual embodiment of the anti-life equation. Let me give you what the anti-life equation actually is. I should have it right. So it is stated to be the yin to the yang of the source, which transcends realms like the monitor sphere. Limbo itself sees the realms below it as fiction, which is then transcended, and then finally you get to the source, which is beyond the source wall. And the anti-life equation is considered the yin to that yang, so equal in power. And the living embodiment of this power was terrified of Manhunter because of his mind hacks, and even stated, "I wouldn't want to fight him in like fair combat because they had to drug him to keep him suppressed." I think I have his roid rage moment with that. Also, here I'll give you this. This, what I'm about to post, is a situation in which Martian Manhunter had to access the Godhead. The Godhead was said to be the source of all things ever. So, like, bare minimum, you'll say because it's above hyperversal would be like baseline outerversal. And he was able to access the mind of the Godhead itself. So that's just another outerversal mind feat. So as you can see, Martian Manhunter, and of course we're operating under standard battle assumptions. When he wants to kill, when he wants to go all out and destroy someone, his mind hacks exceed even baseline outerversal. So he's just going to mind hacks your character into oblivion.
Is that it?
Yep, go ahead.
All right. So let me first start with the Platonic Concepts thing. Okay, so I'm familiar with Platonic. Oh, I thought that was someone else. Okay. So I'm familiar with I'm familiar with Platonic Concepts, Plato's theories of form, etc., 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 etc. But okay. So here's the thing. Simply being a Platonic concept within itself. Simply being stated to be a Platonic concept within itself. That's why I should put it.
Do you need me to explain why a Platonic concept is outerversal? I can if you need me to.
I know why it's outerversal, but here's the reason why I disagree with its notion here being outerversal.
No, hold on. So you disagreeing with it is irrelevant because it being outerversal is the scaling DC uses. So the story itself, they are outerversal because they are Platonic concepts. So like your opinion on Plato's theory doesn't matter.
I never stated that it was my opinion. You kind of, no offense,
I'm making sure you know that. I'm just making.
Yeah, sure. I know for
please
sure.
Wait until he's finished to say anything.
Well, I mean, he talked for an hour, so I'm sure I can insert myself for a few seconds. So go ahead though.
But anyways, what I was getting ready to say was. So you don't run on Versatile Wiki system, do you? No. Do you? Or no?
Am I allowed to talk?
Well, yeah, you're allowed to talk now. I was asking a question. That's all. So you don't run on Versatile Wiki. You don't? Do you go by Versatile Wiki system and stuff?
For some things like speed, but for Platonic Concept, I go by the guy that wrote Platonic Concepts. His name was Plato.
Okay. So, anyways, what I was getting ready to say was you have to prove that he's a true Platonic concept. Now, what that means is basically you have to actually actively prove that he actually is beyond all spatial-temporal and dimensional relations. Just simply being stated to be a Platonic concept and idea. Okay, but you have to prove the scale. There is such thing as a scale to that within fiction. That is obviously. Just like how there's a scale for someone being able to control time and space. Obviously, someone who controls time and space isn't high 1A inherently. You have to prove the scale. You can't just state that okay.
So
you can't just,
for the record, you don't agree with Platonic concepts being Platonic concepts.
No, that's a strawman fallacy. What I'm saying is I don't agree with him being a true Platonic concept. There's such thing as a false Platonic concept.
He's stated by both the author and throughout the story to be a Platonic concept, because every being from that realm is a Platonic concept.
Yeah, but going off, okay, so we're going off what's shown here, and the thing is, it's never like proven or even stated or anything that he's beyond all of time, space, dimensions. That has to actually be a proven thing.
Do you know what Platonic concepts are?
Yes, I know what a Platonic concept is.
They are beyond the dimension.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's where there's a thing that you have to understand here. There's some things that there's some things that are applicable and some things that are not. And everything you can't apply like every single quality because not every single quality and implication was shown here. So my question is, you have to actually prove that he's beyond all of time, space, and dimensions. You can, like, okay, the general idea of a Platonic concept, yes, it's applied here, but not all the full implications here. That's the thing. So you have to actively prove that he's beyond all time and space. Otherwise, you're just assuming that because he's Platonic concept mentioned, so that has to mean that he's beyond all time, space, and dimensions, even though not such a thing was never even established by any consistency or even in the story itself. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm getting at here. Like, yes, you can apply a theory, a concept, or anything like that to a fiction, but if you're going to say that a writer knows all the full implications and also, in addition, establish that without proving it, that's a very assumptuous thing to say, especially when it's not shown in the work itself, which holds more accountability. Well, usually more accountability than the person itself. Like,
Okay, so what are you so what are you confused about for Platonic concept? So let's say your character is told to be a Pokemon, right? And then I say, I don't believe you. Show me someone calling him a Pokemon. That doesn't make any sense. He's stated to be a Platonic concept, so he has the basic properties of Platonic concepts, which I showed you Batman himself showing that there are Platonic concepts, all of them in that realm. It is the realm of Platonic concepts, which is then transcended by the next realm.
Well, for one thing, false analogy here. For one thing, here's why your analogy to the Pokemon thing doesn't work. Okay, in Pokemon, what a Pokemon is and what the implication of a Pokemon is, all that's established, and also is not an existing thing like Plato's theories. The reason why this doesn't work here is because what a Pokemon is, well, the writers already know what a Pokemon is because they created that idea. It doesn't exist within reality, and not only that, but like literally, you don't have to like ask the full implications. We already know what that is because, well, they created what a Pokemon is.
We already know what Platonic concepts are, right? You know what a Platonic concept is?
Yeah, it's yes, I'm familiar
so
with
the writer stating it's a Platonic concept is self-explanation right there.
No, that just means he knows the basic qualities of that. Let me put it this. Okay,
what is
let
the
me
basic
give you
quality of a Platonic concept.
Okay, wait, what'd you ask? Sorry.
What is the basic quality of a Platonic concept?
Okay. So we can just basically what we could just put that up to is we could just put it as basically a concept that, while it has the qualities of being transcendental, but it's not completely transcendental of all it's not completely transcendental of all time.
What a Platonic concept is? Because you told me what you thought it was, but it doesn't seem you know what it is.
Just because you say I don't know what it is doesn't mean I don't. You have to actually.
Okay, so do you acknowledge the Platonic concept is outerversal?
At its truest form, yes, an actual Platonic, fully proven.
What are the varying what are the varying forms of a Platonic concept?
Okay. So let me just go back to his allegory of the cave. According to Plato, basically, according to Plato, there's these three beings who are chained inside of a cave. Behind them there's a fire, which is the projector in quotes. What they see with the shadows they see, those are just false snippets of reality, not the true thing. The things that cast the shadows, basically false. I should say a false Platonic concept. But the things that cast a shadow, okay, the people or things that are walking behind it, what they define. Basically that's shoot. What was that? Basically that's just them casting the shadows, and outside of the cave, that's the true reality, and the sun is the source. The sun is the source of it. Basically, the sun itself is like the truest, the rawest thing, the source of what a concept, of whatever concept you insert can be. So, like for example, let's look at a table. Basically, the Platonic idea of a table. Basically, it's the perfect, rawest, purest table. It's the perfect form of a table. Beyond that, anything that falls under that is not the Platonic idea of it, but it's just something that falls under it. That's basically my best thing for what I'm going to go on that.
Okay, so a Platonic concept is the very concept that envelops all other concepts relating to it. We'll use your table thing again. The Platonic
Yeah.
concept of the table is the table above all other forms of table everywhere it exists. So in order to envelop that, it has to be at least above hyperversal, because a table can exist on a hyperversal level. It has to be above what it contains, similar to, let's say you're putting away leftovers from dinner, right? Your container needs to be bigger than what you are putting inside of it in order to contain it. A Platonic concept must be bigger than hyperversal to contain every concept related to it, thus making it at least baseline outerversal.
But here's the thing, though. That would only apply if it was a true Platonic concept. Well, as far as we know, it's a false.
What's a false Platonic concept then? What do you mean between true? There's no variant. A Platonic
No,
concept is a Platonic concept.
No, the thing is, there is such a thing as a character who has the qualities of a Platonic concept, but don't fully transcend time, space, and dimensions, as is never proven, stated, or even shown that the author has knows the full implications of what that is. So that's basically what I'm getting at, and also at the thing.
Okay, so a Platonic concept is very simple, and you are saying it's not a Platonic concept, even though it's stated to be a Platonic concept.
No, you're strawmanning my point. I'm not saying. I'm
not
saying that
you just don't understand the basic concept of a Platonic concept.
No, I do. You're not understanding my. No, you're not understanding my point. My point.
Plato's Platonic concept envelops all other concepts related to it, making it baseline outerversal. Therefore, being a Platonic concept, even if you want to go with it's the simplest version of a Platonic concept, the simplest version of a Platonic concept is baseline outerversal. That's what I'm telling you.
But it's not, though. Here's the literally, if Darkseid was stated, here's the thing. If Darkseid was stated to be a Platonic concept and was literally stated to be beyond all time, space, dimensions, and stuff like that, then obviously, yeah, he's a full Platonic concept. Obviously, yeah, he's completely transcended everything, fully, full on Platonic. But the thing is, we're just assuming that he's beyond that when it's not even like remotely stated, proven, consistent, anything like that. We're just going off of.
It's not stated, but it directly is stated.
No, it's not. It's stated that he's a Platonic concept.
Do you want me to show you it again? I could just say I want to see it again.
No, I know he's a Platonic concept, but not a full, true Platonic concept that's completely transcendent.
Okay, demonstrate the varying forms of a Platonic concept. You just made a positive claim. I'm going to need you to demonstrate that there are various forms of a Platonic concept.
Okay, in fiction, okay, so in fiction, you literally can be like, you literally can be a Platonic concept, but not outerversal within itself. For example, okay, so, and the reason why I say that is because, let's say Darkseid is a Platonic concept, all right, I mean, he is, I agree with that.
Are you going to be providing scans for this claim?
It's going off it's logically proven. That's also evidence, by the way. Logical.
So you aren't going to be providing a scan, yes or no?
I'm going off of logic. Thank you. Logical basis.
Okay, so
yes.
I'm gonna just dismiss your claim. You can waste your time, but I'm just gonna dismiss it.
No, you can't do that. You can logically prove something. Otherwise, that invalidates most of science. Thank you.
Well, you made a very specific claim, right? That my character is a different form of Platonic concept. It's not actually a Platonic concept. I need you to demonstrate that. Because if you want to go by logic, we have to go with the simpler truth. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. That's much simpler than us making up a different version of a Platonic concept.
That's a golden mean fallacy, first off. For one thing, no. There's many options here that simply just because he's either a Platonic concept or not.
I'm asking you to please demonstrate it with scans. Provide evidence, please.
I know, literally, it's a logical basis. A logical basis, if it's logically proven, then it counts as evidence.
So do you agree you made the claim that my character is not a Platonic concept? It's a different form of Platonic concept.
I say he's not a true Platonic concept. I never denied he wasn't a Platonic concept.
Show me the varying forms of Platonic concept. Show me what a true Platonic concept versus an untrue Platonic concept.
All right.
What are these various forms of Platonic concepts? What are their names?
This is just something applicable to fiction because there's different scales to this thing. You can't just use that. So the thing that's the reason why I said that. Well, Darkseid is not full on outer versal because he's a Platonic concept. He's not proven to be beyond time, space, dimensions, and all that.
True form Darkseid is proven to be beyond that. What are you talking about?
No, he's not. He's proven to be a Platonic concept.
Flashpoint couldn't affect him, right? He was outside of it, even though Flashpoint affected all of space and time, everywhere.
Okay, but that's on a multiversal scale, not on a full-on beyond all.
He exists outside of dimensions. It occurred in every dimension. Not to mention the fact that we have seen Darkseid be able to absorb other souls and then combat the source itself. And he poisoned the source. He had the power to poison the source.
The source in that story.
Hold on. The source transcends Limbo multiple times. Limbo, it views the rest of DC under it as fiction. Not only that, the book of existence itself of every dimension of everything is hanging out in Limbo.
Okay.
The dream of the endless and the Platonic concepts of death itself exists in the God sphere, which is transcended by Limbo and even Dream.
Okay. So are you done here? I got a lot of things to say about that. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking you to please provide evidence that the Platonic concept within DC is not the Platonic concept.
That's not what I stated. I say it's not a true Platonic concept.
So do you agree it's what is the difference between a Platonic concept and a Platonic concept?
You're literally strawmanning my point, though. I never stated that.
You're making this assertion that there's
no, I'm not. Literally, my assertion.
Demonstrate.
No,
okay.
No, my assertion from the beginning. My assertion was okay. I agree that he's the basic principles of a Platonic concept, but he doesn't have the full implications, aka being beyond all time, space, reality, dimensions.
Okay, I'm telling you the basic definition of the Platonic concept, which is its basic qualities, is its inherently baseline outer versal.
The basic qualities is beyond reality. That can be anywhere from
it's
literally
beyond dimensions.
No, actually,
yes,
no.
It has to contain every concept within it.
Okay, so for starters, literally even in the original source, in Plato's Theories of Forms, a Platonic concept is just simply beyond reality. It's not beyond all dimensions and stuff like that. It's beyond reality. So that's the baseline thing that we can go with here. If Darkseid is just basically a Platonic concept, but he's never said to be beyond all time, space, dimensions, reality, we can just assume that he's beyond reality. So okay, but that's not enough to be outer versal, though. Not beyond all time, space, dimensions. Okay, that's the basic principles of a Platonic concept, being beyond reality. Well, of the true principle nature, basic principle nature.
Okay, so can you make your claim on how powerful a Platonic concept is, please, just so we can get your opinion on it?
It depends. A raw, pure, if you want to go by a purest, rawest form of a Platonic concept, like at its rawest, purest form, and like one that's proven this way, then it would be outer versal. But Darkseid's not proven to be that. He just has the basic principles of a Platonic concept.
A basic principle of a Platonic concept is outer versal.
No, it's not. It's just beyond reality. That's not really outer versal worthy, though.
Okay, how many realities are within DC?
Well, infinite. Like infinite universes. It has to be
above all realities. It has to be above all dimensions because Darkseid was unaffected by something that occurred in every dimension.
Okay, that means he's high 2A, then that's not outer versal or 5D.
Okay,
not
so even though there's infinite dimensions, it's not that's not even hyperversal to you. It's not not bound by the concepts of dimension.
What do you mean? Which one? What? What exactly?
Okay, so by the way, you didn't acknowledge the Vishnu thing. I gave you a direct feat of Martian Manhunter making a being unable to wake up, that just him waking up destroys creation itself.
Well, the reason why is because I was focused on the Platonic thing and we just went to that. That's why I never got to that. But...
Okay, so Vishnu is in the same realm, resides in the same realm as Darkseid, true form Darkseid. Now, all of creation is bare minimum hyperversal. That's just from that character waking up. Manhunter kept him down. The character could not awaken without Manhunter letting him. Do you agree that's bare minimum hyperversal?
Well, do you have proof that creation extends to that scale? And what I mean is
Okay, so
within
do
that
you need a
context.
map of DC? So that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying, can you prove within that context does creation mean literally everything, or just within that vicinity, aka the local multiverse or
Okay,
the
so
local bottom
all
sphere?
right. So you want like the page before creation itself being everything?
I basically just want evidence that creation within this
All right. So
context.
if that was post crisis, what applies to post crisis? We would be operating under the assumptions that post crisis is consistent until it's retconned, right?
What post crisis is consistent to its retcon?
Yes. Nothing has changed. The initial properties of post crisis is not different. It's retconned later. We are operating within post crisis. There's pre crisis, post crisis, new 52.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the different errors, and the events that caused those errors. But yeah, I'm aware of the different errors of DC.
Okay. So
Yes.
this is post crisis.
Okay. Post crisis. Yes.
All right. So that's your answer for creation, unless you don't know what creation is in post crisis.
No, what I was asking. Well, okay. I know the full extent of DC's cosmology. I know how big it is, but what I'm asking for, how, like, what creation means in this context specifically, not like literally does it mean the entire everything, or does it just mean the local multiverse or local whatever? You have to prove that.
All right. So the book of creation
because
in post crisis that contains creation is every form of existence everywhere, every dimension, everything held within dimension.
Okay, but can you prove that within the context itself? Like, that's what I'm asking for.
Because
Like,
it's
within
post crisis. There's nothing that's contradicting it.
just because there's okay. Just because So what I was asking for one thing, just because there's like literally just because like literally something doesn't really contradict doesn't mean it can't be invalid. In fact, it can be logically proven and dismissed if it just
Okay, then
doesn't.
prove it. Prove what is written that is consistent with post crisis is not what it actually is, despite there being no contradiction.
No, okay, within this context is okay, so he says he's going to destroy creation. Okay, that's good and all, but you have to prove what scale of creation, because it's literally assumptions to prove that he's going to destroy the entire construct when within the context we're not given any clear details. For all we know, he could be destroying universe, multiverse, I don't know, omniverse. You have to give evidence for that. As creation within itself is basically a vague term. So essentially.
All right, so what I'm saying to you is creation, when referred in other stories with DC, creation is everything contained within the book of creation, which resides in limbo. So he would be destroying creation, which is everything inside of the infinite dimensions. Once you get outside of dimensions, it doesn't count for creation. It transcends dimensions itself. So, logically, going with the simplest truth, creation would be referring to creation itself, which is hyperversal.
No. Literally.
And you know what backs that up is the fact that we are told these are Platonic concept beings, archetypal beings. So that makes sense that he would have the power to do so. We just reached a simple conclusion. Do you understand?
If we were to so since he's in the since he exists within the same scale of Darkseid, okay, so he can destroy creation up to a multiversal scale. Okay, that's cool.
Are you saying there's only one multiverse? Are you saying there is not infinite dimensions within the infinite dimensions of DC?
No, like I agree that DC does have an infinite dimensional space. It's just not proven that he can affect it here.
Yes, it is. If he wakes up, he's going to destroy creation, which makes sense because he resides in a realm of Platonic concepts and archetypal powers, which are inherently baseline outerversal. So him having the power to destroy infinite dimensions is very easy.
Okay, so we're just rolling back to the whole Platonic thing, which I already stated. The basic principles of a Platonic concept is just literally being beyond reality. The initial concept of what a Platonic concept is had nothing to do with dimensions or higher dimensions. It just has everything to do with a concept that cannot be perceived.
Okay,
by
so
human.
I think what you need is something very simple, right? You need ABC. Is that what you want? Is that what you require?
No, that's kind of ad hominem. Thank you. Okay.
Here, I'll give you something easy. Let me give you something easy. Do you know what the endless is?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
The
Yeah, I'm
Platonic
familiar.
concept of death. Do you know what the Platonic concept of death is? Death everywhere, within every multiverse, anywhere, any dimension.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of the endless. I know their power. They're like Infinite D to Outerversal. Yes, I'm aware of their power. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so Dr. Destiny, with the power of Dream itself, which transcends that realm, by the way, which once more I can show you on the map if you need it, was going to kill the endless. Do you need that scan?
Who was going to kill the endless? My bad.
Dr. Destiny that has the control of Dream itself.
Okay. So he's going to destroy the endless through the
Here,
dream.
I'll post you
Through
the
dream.
scan.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And then I will post for you other the battle, the reason it pertains Martian Manhunter. So let me get you that.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so this same dream, I showed you the endless thing. This same dream enhanced Dr. Destiny, which is stated again. Let me give you this. Also, here's just because I'm scrolling by it. Here is a scan of him scanning every timeline in reality at once to find Flash while he's heavily weakened. Oh, I could. Yeah, I'll just screenshot it. Hold on. That'll be easier. All right, here we go. So this being right here, this is the same Dr. Destiny that has the complete power of Dream. Martian Manhunter is able to shield all of his allies from this Dr. Destiny, despite Dr. Destiny trying to insert himself into the mind of all of them.
Okay.
This same
So
Dr. Destiny using the power of Dream was going to kill the Endless.
okay.
It states in
So
that scan too that it's the same Destiny using the power of Dream.
let me read it real quick. Let me read it real quick. Apologies. Read this. Let me read this. Okay. Okay, I saw the scan. Um.
I can post the map again as well if you need it of the tiering of the realms.
Okay. Okay. So regarding this, okay. So let me get right off the back that yes, I. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So let me get right off the back that I do agree with the notion that the endless like are universal or well it depends on which endless. They range from high 1B or high upperversal to outerversal depends. But and yes I do agree that he does have the powers here, but was it just that this is a consistency for Martian Manhunter and not just like
Well,
some one off move?
what I said before when I literally started the debate is standard battle assumptions. Is our characters going all out to kill each other? And so yeah, it's consistent that he can reach these levels when he's driven to. I'll show you more proof of that if you need it. Here he reads the mind of Spectre.
Alright. Also, wait, you never established that Bloodlust was on. Not that it really matters, but might want to make that clear next time.
Not bloodlusted.
Okay.
It's stated by even Black Adam that he doesn't have the same moral code as like Batman and Superman. So when he wants to kill you, he's just going to kill you. It's not really a bloodlusted issue, and it doesn't
Okay.
matter anyway because like Furnace soloed the Justice League multiple times, and Manhunter actually transcended Furnace, which I could show you. So him being focused is actually stronger than his simple Furnace form, like Bloodlusted. He's stronger than Bloodlust when he's driven. That's what I'm saying. Also,
Okay.
here's the realms.
Okay.
You want more? What I say? I'd get you Spectre.
You sent me a Spectre scan.
Yeah, I'll get you more Spectre. Hold on.
Okay.
Also, I'll show you him surpassing Furnace. He actually one-shots Furnace, which is his bloodlusted form. All right, so here are some Spectre scans, and in a couple of these, we even have like a pissed off bloodlusted Spectre.
Okay, looking through. All right. Oh wait, did you post all of them, or was that it? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
No, I'm posting more. I have a bunch. This one, Spectre's pissed off. Martian Manhunter still gets in his mind. In fact, he's able to, without too much difficulty, connect Spectre's mind to someone else, so he can actually grant access to other people. Right here, he one-shots Furnace, who was his bloodlusted version, so that's just proof. Not even bloodlusted, just him determined is actually stronger than bloodlusted.
Okay. Is that everything? Or okay.
Oh, that's the dream one again, sorry. But yeah. So there's multiple Spectre scans.
All right. So, am I allowed to talk, or are you still like going?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. First thing with the Spectre. Okay, so I do agree that the true Spectre, or basically his unbound form, is 1A. But within the scan that you presented, it's never shown that he's affecting the boundless Spectre. He's just only showing he's affecting a prime Spectre or an avatar manifestation. That's
All right, well, one of these is able to depower Mr. Impidalic.
okay. Let me see that. Okay. And also, wait. You just mentioned Mr. Mix. How you say his name? Uh, Thank you. Anyway,
That's how it said in Superman the animated series. So
okay, Mixy. Fuck it. I don't care. Fuck it. So
spit lick.
I'm calling him fifth dimensional imp. Fuck you.
Just call him
Okay.
Mixie.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, anyways, Mixie. Okay, back to Mixie. My point, okay, so the thing is, it's kind of faulty scaling Spectre, my bad, I keep calling him that. I'm sorry, apologies. Spectre to to Mixie, when Mixie's consistently shown to be superior to an avatar of Spectre. It's kind of weird.
That showed you multiple avatars. It was actually different avatars each time.
Yeah, I agree with that, but no,
and he even pulls out Spectre itself, the actual Spectre. I'll show you that if you need it.
Where? Okay.
Here, I'll show you. I'll get you that scan. Here's one Spectre he got into. That's another one. I don't know why I didn't have that. Here, I'll show you this while I'm looking for the other one. Oh, here we go. Here, he literally accesses true form Spectre. Let's pop it up. Are you waiting on me, or am I waiting on you?
We've been waiting on you. I assume.
Yeah. You were saying something, weren't you?
No.
All right. So if neither of you know what what's going on, I feel like we should move on to closing arguments then.
Wait, what?
The debate's not done. The debate's not done. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Wait, huh? Who said that?
I said that because neither of you knew what was going on right now. I feel like we should just move on to closing arguments since neither of you know whose turn it is to speak. Do you want to go to closing arguments? And this applies to you too, Splash, if you're listening. Do you want to go to closing arguments, or do you want to talk about what Arceus could do to as a response?
Yeah, I never got to talk about Arceus.
We kind of forgot this was a versus battle.
Yeah,
I'm
like
Do you have any rebuttals involving Arceus to what to Marshman? Is that what you want to do, or do you want to go on the closing statements? Yeah,
I'm fine with concluding.
Yeah,
well,
why not? I don't see an issue.
I don't see an issue. It is.
So what now?
The conclusions, I
You
guess.
give your
You say,
conclusion on why
Neo,
you
since
think
you're the
you
one who
won, and I'll
started, you
give
make
mine.
your conclusions first, and then
Okay.
you usually
So
then a judge would tell what they thought of the debate.
Was the debate civil, by the way? Or
There's been no
well,
winner. Continue.
I
no.
know.
Okay. Well. Okay. So since we're on conclusions, okay.
No. Before you conclude, can someone give a short recap?
No,
just
shut the fuck up.
shut up, Joda. No one cares about
Yeah.
you. Yeah, what do you
Like,
think?
Yo,
you
everyone stop talking
should
to each other,
recruit this
please.
now,
Everyone
so
shut the hell up except for Splash. If you're not Splash, shut up before I fuck you over. My dick. Okay? Damn.
Damn,
Anyway.
it do be like that sometimes.
Anyways. So since I think we're going on conclusions, my thing is, okay, so first off, first experience debating Splash, not what I thought it would be. I thought like I like from debating Krails, I thought you were gonna like ad hominem the fuck out of me, but surprisingly you were cool. I'll give you that. Thank you. Thank you for not like fucking screaming in my face every second. Thank you for that. And also I'm not gonna lie, someone who okay, so regarding arguments, I mean, okay, I could see like at least your arguments make sense. I could see where you're coming from, and I could see why you disagree with me as well. Mine seem illogical too, but at the same time, yeah. Um, I mean, your arguments make sense. I can see where you're coming from, and in addition, while we didn't get to really talk about Arceus, you did give a good reason why he could win, which admittedly, I do have a reason why he could win, but admittedly, without he doesn't really have resistance, regardless. But regardless, yeah, you did make good arguments. Weren't an asshole to me weren't an asshole to me, so get that. And yeah, regardless, good debate, good debate. Also nice meeting you for once. Please. Anyways, Splash. What are your concluding statements? In relation to mines, if you have any.
All right, so my premise was that Martian Manhunter one shots with his telepathy. I demonstrated how Martian Manhunter with standard of battle assumptions is he's going to be trying to kill your character. He's motivated. I showed that even motivated Martian Manhunter surpasses his bloodlusted state. So arguing if he's stronger, it's bloodlusted, so it wouldn't count is unnecessary. And then demonstrated the tiering in DC as far as the outerversal realms and how they transcend each other. Platonic concept is different in DC and doesn't have the same qualities as another Platonic concept. Going off, there's nothing demonstrated. Even then, off baseline outerversal got feats such as Dr. Destiny using Dream itself. Manhunter was able to combat him just fine. Not only that, he was protecting other people as well, so his power was split. Libra, and he's even accessed True Form Spectre within Jim Corrigan, and Jim Corrigan's one of the strongest iterations of Spectre. So characters like Spectre, man of him, which is a Platonic accessing Mobius early. But anyway, and then I also showed so even if your character is like in another reality or goes to another reality, he's getting tagged and wiped. So anyways, because of his telepathic feats and his telepathic prowess, I believe I demonstrated Martian Manhunter one-shots Arceus. Count as judging.
It's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just like, as long as I at least have some form of what happened here, I guess I'm just lost, basically. But regardless,